Welcome to the Forum Report. My name is Peyton, and today we'll be going through the top 4 standout moments from the Lister Forum. The Lister Forum took place yesterday at 5 p.m., lasting nearly 2 hours, and was chock full of questions for the candidates. Some of the highlights include the VP OpsFi candidate's attachment to the Sustainability and Capital Fund, the vagueness of each BOG Rep candidate's policies, how the VPX candidates would tackle the elimination of the STEP program, and the President's role in working with grassroots student movements. The most pressing question the OpsFi candidates were faced with was what plans they had to meet the student union's goal to be carbon neutral by 2050. Samantha C. said there is a possibility of looking into improved ways of recycling plastic in the SU, and really not much else. While she lacked tangible points, she did say that something is in the works for sustainability. Could it be the Sustainability and Capital Fund, which is up for referendum this year?
For sustainability, apparently we can recycle all types of plastics in the SU, so I'm definitely going to look into that. And then I don't have anything specific for making sub more carbon neutral, exactly what sort of steps, but I know that's already been in the works, so I'll just, when I get into the role, that's something I'll look into, and I can get back to you on specific points.
The second candidate, Alana Karan, also gestured towards the students voting yes for the Sustainability and Capital Fund as a way of making the SU more sustainable, alongside mentioning a mix of small steps. Some of these small steps include opening a bulk food section at Submart and reducing plastic wastes at the sub-food court.
I think something that I would like to see done as a first step and a very first priority is to just start reducing waste. Start small, start simple. For example, a bulk food section in Submart with jars that we have donated. That could be an idea. Reducing waste in the sub-food court. Why is everything at the Daily Grind wrapped in saran wrap? You tell me. Well, cleanliness, we know that. Yeah, just taking steps and being strategic about it, maybe voting yes for the SCF, things like that, little steps we can take.
Credit should go to Cron for at least having a few tangible ideas. It's disappointing to see both candidates seemingly relying on students supporting the Capital Fund as a way of making sub greener. The fee would cost students $25 a semester, a pretty sizable hit to student pockets in the face of what will likely be huge increases to tuition next year. Hopefully, the candidates can develop some more tangible alternatives to the Capital Fund that would put less pressure on students while decreasing sub's carbon footprint. The Board of Governors candidates had somehow both a lot and nothing to say at Lister. Question after question was lobbed at them, which is a rare occurrence for the portfolio, and still they managed to miss the pass on nearly every inquiry. Particularly egregious in this sense was Dave Conrad, who managed to go the entire forum without stating even one memorable policy point. When the outgoing SU president, Akanksha Bhatnagar, posed a question to the candidates about climate change and sustainability on a board level, Conrad gave a disappointing response, stating that he would like to hear more about what the board is already thinking about. Who gave an equally vague response about holding the institution accountable and said that going beyond environmental sustainability to financial sustainability would be key in this regard.
Yeah, and from the conversation with Rowan and Akanksha as well, these people aren't all bad, right? Like governance, we have this, are these mysterious people making choices about our lives. They're not all bad people. They have lots of vested interest in good and bad things. So looking at what are their solutions, and bring that back to the students, maintaining accountability and a clear perspective, right?
But what we can do is hold the administration accountable for what they do. And this goes beyond environmental sustainability. I think financial sustainability is also very important at this stage.
For the remainder of their question period, all of their answers were vastly similar to these responses. Hopefully moving forward, the Board of Governors candidates will flesh out their campaigns and ideas a little more for students. The VPX candidates differed on how best to address the elimination of the Summer Temporary Employment Program, or STEP. Rowan Lay said that the current provincial government doesn't like spending more taxpayer dollars, so the VPX has to reframe the ask of STEP to ensure the value the province will get out of it is communicated. That way, they will see it as a worthy expenditure, which will help Alberta as a whole. Interestingly, Robert Belak said he would cut the provincial government out of the conversation entirely. For him, expanding the Canada Summer Jobs program and approaching the federal government for more money is easier than going to the UCP.
So I agree in that one essential step moving forward with the Students Not Silent movement is incorporating STEP, or a request for a STEP-like program. However, I kind of see the future of government employment services to be somewhere else, and I see the expansion of the Canada Summer Jobs Program to be a much more realistic ask going forward. I think that the federal government is a little more friendly when it comes to student issues, and they're willing to put forward more money so that more students can find those jobs that they can have that will go forward to benefit the workforce of our country.
While BLAC has an original approach, it's tough to sell the idea to the federal government as one university. Getting the entire federal lobby group out of the Canadian Alliance of Student Associations, CASA, is also difficult. Plus, the federal government budget cycle is happening now, meaning this solution from the VPX would have to wait until next summer. The presidential candidates agreed on pretty much all talking points and echoed each other on the need to include international students more, hiring a sexual assault coordinator, among others. There was only one moment where the candidates differed on their approach. When candidates were asked how they would ensure grassroots student movements were effectively captured and represented in SU advocacy, Luke Statt, current Vice President, Operations and Finance, said the Students' Union cannot effectively organize every event. He said he would be in favor of giving money and organizational assistance to existing student groups or movements. Current Vice President Academic, Joel Agarwal, said he believes this year's SU was at the forefront of student movements. He argued the Students' Union track record this year was strong in terms of student protests, and that he would continue that legacy. Yiming Chen, current arts counselor for Students' Council, said she would build a new online feedback system so that the SU got real, unfiltered feedback from students directly.
When there's an anger, there's a problem, there is a conflict. So there are two ways of thinking of this. One, we solve the problem. Two, we solve the emotion. How we solve the problem? We provide you a feedback system. We tell you can reach to the Students' Union and we can tell you how we solve the problem. We make it more transparent.
Honestly, Yiming's idea of a feedback system is not a bad idea. It would eliminate the need to have town halls to help decide what the SU's response would be. Plus, the SU would have a more numerical data points to bring forward in their advocacy, when they could say that X number of students said this or that. That's all for this edition of the Forum Report. The next forum will be held on the Substage tomorrow at 12 p.m. See you then!